Dear Mr. President, dear fellow Toastmasters and guests, Gerard Depardieu, Ratatouille cartoon, Jewelry House, Bulgari. What do you think is common for these names? Any ideas? No ideas? Okay.
Why?
What?
Yes, why?
Okay, I think it's clear from the name of the project. Gerard Depardieu has his own vineyards in Spain. Disney company has created new wine called Ratatouille because the main hero of this cartoon, Mouse Remy, is a real gourmet and shows perfect taste. Bulgari company asked the famous Italian winemaker to help in producing new wine at its new vineyards. Wine. This noble drink will be the main topic of my speech and of my 3 wine stories. The first story is about how and why I got interested in this subject. One day, I was sitting in a restaurant with my Italian friend. We had lunch and we were discussing our food and drinks. He said, "You Russians are strange people. You can come to a restaurant and order a glass of red wine." I was sitting and thinking, and I can come to a restaurant and ask for a glass of wine. Maybe it's not polite and I should take a bottle. I was waiting him to continue. In Italy, a waiter will look at you in a strange way. What wine? Chianti, Navarro, Lambrusco, Valpolicella, or maybe Bordeaux, Belay, Beaujolais, maybe Rioja, Crianza, Navarro, Ribeiro. What wine? There are hundreds kinds of red wine. I felt stupid. After this, I bought a good book about wine, at least not to feel stupid next time. In this book, I read about different kinds, countries, regions, types, and so on and so on. And about prices as well. It's possible to buy a bottle of good French wine for €5. And also it's possible to get a bottle of wine for hundreds, thousands euros. And in my next wine story, I will tell you about such example. One day in Paris, a real treasure was found in a basement. The collection of wine of the 18th century, owned by the American president, Thomas Jefferson. In December 1985, one bottle from this collection, Chateau Lafite 1787, was raffled off at the Christie's auction. It was bought by the son of the billionaire, by Christopher Forbes. The price was 105,000 pounds sterling. It's around 5 million rubles. Of course, Christopher was not going to drink it. The bottle was exhibited in the Forbes Museum. And this not cheap installation was put to a glass box and lighted by halogen. It was a fatal mistake. Christopher Forbes was warned by experts not to break rules of keeping wine, but he didn't follow this advice. And what had to happen happened. A cork dried up and fell into the bottle. Chateau Lafite 1787 became the most expensive vinegar in the world. This story happened in 20th century. And coming back to the ancient time, we will find one more wine story. A lot of people argue about the origins of wine, the country of the first wine, and its inventor. In my third wine story, I will tell you about the roots of the wine. One day, young Bacchus, god of wine, found a surprisingly wonderful plant. He decided to keep it and take home. He was worried that the plant could dry up because of the heat, and Bacchus found a bird's bone and put the plant inside this bone. In the hand of God, the plant was growing so rapidly that soon the bone became too small for it. Then Bacchus found bigger bone, lion's bone, and put the plant with the first bone inside this one. Meanwhile, the plant grew and grew. Then Bacchus found a donkey's bone, a large one, the biggest one, and put the plant with the two previous bones inside it. When the young god reached his home, the roots of the plant got messed up and twisted the bird's, lion's, and donkey's bones. So Bacchus put the plant to soil together with the bones. The bush grew rapidly. Wonderful bunches appeared on the bush, and tasty juice was squeezed from it. The first wine was made. This new drink had a peculiar effect on people though. When people drank wine a little, they sang like birds. When they drank a little bit more, they became strong as lions. And when they were drinking for a long time and too much, they banged their heads as donkeys did. So the moral is, drink to sing like birds or to work with the force of flying, but never drink that much to bend your heads. They were my 3 wine stories, and I hope they were informative for you, because I was not going to convince you to drink wine or to encourage you to read about wine. But if you decide to learn this subject both in theory and practice, please remember about birds, lions, and donkeys.